A very good morning to you out there, and thank you for joining us for the 21st September edition of People's Court. People's Court raises questions that challenge the status quo, and every time civilization moved forward, it was an answer to someone's agitation. Now, the way things are, that does not benefit the greater majority is what we question, is what we talk about. And with joy, I welcome you to what promises to be a great time on radio. For some, People's Court brings education and enlightenment. To others, it brings a form of sensitization. But in all, we aim at deepening the roots of our nascent democracy. And it is powered by the movement of the Voice for Democracy, also known as Movers Nigeria. Now, in the People's Court, we have different segments, and the first segment raises a question, and then we open up the talk lines and call in the general public to comment on the question that has been raised. And in all of the segments, your voice should not be missing. Okay, and then we also have the opportunity of bringing in court cases. These are live cases of real people. It's not staged. Live cases. I am UC. And together we're going to have fun on radio today. All this and more will come to you in a short while. And don't forget, you stand the chance of winning a radio just because you participated. Transformation begins with a new consciousness, new thoughts, new perspectives, a brand new way of looking at Nigeria, and the indispensable role you have to play to actualize the lofty and noble dreams of our founding fathers. We are Nigerians for life. Join Movers Nigeria, move Nigeria forward. Alright, that's what we ask you to do every Saturday. Join Movers Nigeria, move Nigeria forward. Right where you are the mover. It is my pleasure, as usual, to present to you in the People's Court today the initiator and promoter of Movers Nigeria, Mr. Ifanyo Konkwo. Good morning, sir.
The court is now in session. Distinguished citizens, in this episode of the People's Court, the focus will be a dictum by distinguished jurists, the former Chief Justice of Nigeria, his explanation on the purport and meaning of federalism in Nigeria. Distinguished citizens, the discourse is captured. The discourse is captured in a decided case by the Supreme Court of Nigeria, where the issue discussed was the separation of powers in a federal state, that is federalism, and the powers of the federating units and the institutions that make laws for the good governance. That matter came to court, and the matter the Supreme Court decided was the case of Attorney General of Bendel State as the appellant against the Attorney General of the Federation. This case is reported in 1983, 1 SCNLR, that is Supreme Court of Nigeria Law Report, at page 239. And the learned jurist had this to say: WIS, JSC as he then was, later CJN, and he opined thus, and I quote, "As a general principle of constitutional law, it is implicit in the character of federal constitution that neither the federation nor the state could make laws imposing extra burden on each other. This is because the legislative power in a true federation usually involves the division and limitation of governmental powers," unquote. Distinguished citizens, that will bring us to the threshold of today's discussion. Before I do that, I will welcome the personality that is the forum judge this morning to first of all make his opening remark. The forum judge this morning is a distinguished citizen, Mr. Magnus EKWUEME. Would you please, sir, make your opening remark?
All right. Thank you, my forum advocate. And may I thank Nigerian Movers, the Movers Nigeria, for their good work. Though I know Movers Nigeria is a project, but I will liken it to what happened in 1900s when Frederick Douglass started agitating for black man's freedom. His masters never took him serious because they thought his voice, color, and person was too insignificant to affect a change. Little did they know that he was harming humanity. So, in the same hand, Movers Nigeria is a project that is continually painting pictures of positive change in the minds of Nigerians. Fellow Nigerians, let me remind you all that knowledge is only a potential power. True personal power is the ability to take action and implement your knowledge. So, let us shun apathy, identify with Movers Nigeria, to take our destiny in our own hands, as shown in the issue of child marriage law and the rest of other issues where Nigerians came out full force and one accord. Therefore, ranging from money launderings from high public officers to the least corrupt practices and other impunities in the land, our fate is now in our hands. Let us all join Movers Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you, distinguished forum judge. Citizens, the question for discussion this morning was highlighted by the judgment of the apex court in this country in the case of Attorney General Bendel State and the Attorney General of the Federation about true federalism and the structure of governance in Nigeria. Our politicians have missed the mark completely. They are talking about tones in rulership. They are not talking about the structural framework for the institutions and development and deepening of democratic government in Nigeria. The citizens must rise up and bring pertinent issues to question. Do we really want to be a federal state in this country? If we have to be a federal state in this country, we will take back some of our powers that are domiciled in the National Assembly so that we can determine how we live our lives. Distinguished citizens, the public petition was sponsored by Movers Nigeria. The public petition this morning is this, and I'm humbled to present to you the question. Considering the rights of federal government, state and local government council to hire and fire their respective employees, do you approve that the National Assembly should retain the power of prescribing a national minimum wage for federation or any part thereof, which is under item 34, part 1, exclusive legislative list of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended? I will take the question again. Considering the rights of the federal government, the state and local government council to hire and fire their respective employees, do you approve that the National Assembly should retain the power of prescribing a national minimum wage for the federation or any part thereof, as itemized in section 34, part 1, exclusive legislative list of the 1999 Constitution as amended? Distinguished citizens, this is the question in the public domain this morning. I would like you to agitate your mind that if you have to employ a person and pay him, including the emoluments and retirement benefits, are you not going to be in a position to set the wages of such a person, rather than a situation where the military has confused Nigerians by deciding even the type of air we will breathe? That is the petition that is agitating the mind of movers. I will leave this discussion for the jury and the forum judge. But let's first of all call on the forum judge to give his verdict on this petition. Mr. Forum Judge, sir, with humility.
Thank you once more again. The truth is that minimum wage is not our problem. Though, considering state of our nation today, majority of workers will prefer the status quo to remain. But the issue is this: how on earth is it proper for National Assembly to fix minimum wage for salaries payable by state or local government? Do they give them the money to pay it or augment any deficit? Even if they do, does that go in tandem with federalism we claim we are practicing? The answer is no. I think Nigeria and Nigerians should stop sitting on fence in issues like this. Let federal, state, and local government determine their pay packages, and economic forces will take care of workers' fare. This will also encourage reward for merit, as the person with the best technical know-how and hardworking will definitely attract good package and patronage and high remuneration. After all, there are private corporate organizations that their pay package is better than that of federal, but you have to merit it. So my take on this is that we should continue and strive to take it away from the National Assembly. Thank you, my advocate.
Distinguished citizens, that is the judgment on the public petition by the forum judge. I will now ask the presenter to call in the jury. Presenter, sir.
All right. To you out there, when we say jury, we actually mean you. And the last verdict, the final verdict in the People's Court resides with the jury. And so the talk lines are open right now. There are three things I want you to do as you get ready to call. Please make your contribution or your verdict very, very brief as possible. Secondly, turn down the volume of your radio before you make that call. And then thirdly, when you make the call, please, it's not an opportunity for you to start talking about what is not on point. There is a question in the pool, and that question in the pool is clear. So the numbers are 0815-960-9134, 0815-243-7346. If you make the call, I'll put you on air so people can get to hear what you have to say. The question again is, do you support? It's a question considering the rights of the federal government, state and local government council to hire and fire their respective employees. Do you approve that the National Assembly should retain the power of prescribing a national minimum wage, okay, for the federation or any part thereof under item 34 part 1, exclusive legislative list of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended? It's also important I remind you that it's over a year that President Goodluck Jonathan signed the 18,000 Minimum Wage Act. But our collective problem has been the issue of implementation. Okay, in many states is not yet implemented. So we put up this question, 0815-960-9134. Hello.
Good morning.
A very good morning to you.
Mr. Speaking, Prince Ngene.
Chris Ngene, you're welcome to the People's Court.
No, I support the verdict of the foreign judge.
Okay.
But with some amendment.
Okay. All right, thank you. That was very brief.
The governors,
Okay.
they go to Abuja and bring their own chart, paying themselves, the politicians.
Okay.
But when that of the civil servants come, they withheld it.
Okay.
They refusing to pay it. The civil servants supposed to join them to bring the chart that are brought, that was brought from the federal government. So with that, we are not happy because of this their treatment of the civil servants.
Okay.
They should join, pay the same packages with the politicians in the state and local government, and not that of the federal. They will be taking the federal one, that the civil servants are taking their salary from the one they brought to them.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Chris Ngene, for that beautiful contribution. Hello.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. What's the name and where you're calling from?
My name is Mr. Kirian Obuna. I'm calling from Obula.
You're calling from Obulafa, but I didn't get your name loud and clear.
Mr. Obuna is my name.
Obunna, Mr. Obunna. Okay, go ahead. What's your verdict?
All right. I have two questions to ask. To probably clear our minds up before I take my position on the matter on point. Now, when you say federal workers, state government workers, and people that work under the employ of the local government, one thing that comes to my mind is the fact that all of these people shop in the same market.
Okay.
I don't know of any market in Nigeria that is reserved for the workers in the local government,
Okay.
workers in the state government, or workers in the employ of the federal government. So it becomes a matter that really does not have any rationale.
Okay.
I think our leaders should begin to look beyond that and begin to think about equal distribution of the national wealth. We few people are working, they should be paid. Paid living wages that should be able to take care of families as humans and their citizens. That's my question.
All right, thank you so much.
I don't think there should be variations or differences in the payments of people working in the area.
Okay.
Every strata of the government remains the government.
Okay.
That's one. Two, if the status quo is to remain, then the power to get what one gets to should be back to who employs whoever. If the government is employing, and as a result the right to employ and sack, that state government should also reserve the right to determine what wages this state. Of course, different states in Nigeria have different might. Somebody working in Enugu State, somebody working in Rivers State or in Lagos State, any might of these three states are not the same. So it is a considerable thing to now say people in Enugu will pay you 6,000, people in Rivers State will pay you 10,000, people in Lagos State will pay you 20,000.
Mr. Obonna, tell us what you want. Tell us what you want.
Coming from a certain place.
Mr. Obonna,
what's your verdict? What's your verdict? You're
tell
taking
us what you want.
You're
Tell
taking
us what
so
you
much
want.
time. What's your verdict?
My verdict as whether the power should be in the National Assembly is not clear yet, because there are some fundamental things.
You are the jury. Let me tell you. Let me give you this information for the benefit of every other person. 2 days ago, I said, let me give you this information to help you make up your mind. About 4 days ago, the Nigerian Labour Congress, including the governor of Edo State, went and shut down the National Assembly because they want the Joint National Assembly to revisit the issue of removing the powers to fix wages of workers from the exclusive legislative list, which means the National Assembly will be the only people making laws on what will be the minimum wage. Now, with this backdrop, we are the citizens. We are asking you, if you're a citizen will go and hire somebody and fire that person, is it not right for him to fix his wages? And I gave you a background, a decision made in 1983 by the Supreme Court of Nigeria, that no part of the federal or state can make any law creating any burden that will be carried out by any of the parties in the federation.
Okay.
You as a citizen, Mr. Obonna, where do you stand? That's what we want to hear this morning. There's a lot of emotion, but we want you to take decision. If you say that the National Assembly will continue to make, it becomes a position, and at the end of the day, our people representing us, we know how to vote.
Okay, I think Mr. Warner falls into the class of people who find it hard to make up their mind. So let's give him some time to make up his mind.
Make your judgment clear.
You're neither here nor
you are
here.
giving us a judgment, and that people are listening to you.
Okay, I want it to remain in the exclusive list.
As God pleases. As God pleases, sir.
All right, thank you. Okay, that's the much we can take from the audience. We will go ahead to do some other things right now.
Distinguished citizens, we must thank the jury for their participation in this episode, and we are so happy and delighted that the case that was supposed to have been brought to the jury for adjudicating this morning was amicably settled.
Yeah.
And all the parties are happy. The essence of the People's Court is to give the poor and the underprivileged people a voice, to see that you can seek justice and justice will be available to you. We use this opportunity to thank the complainant, Joy OKOYE, and the management of Broma Medical Diagnostic Centre for being very lawful citizens. that have decided to we congratulate them and we want them to continue to be good citizens. The matter has been settled, the young lady has been paid, and she's happy, and they are now friends again. Distinguished citizens, we now move over to our emails and correspondence. But before we do that, I want to use this opportunity to tell our people, this platform is free. This platform needs people like you and me to partner and form a link so that we can deepen democracy. We have to make our people understand governance. We need independence. We need to be participants in the way we are governed. Our voices must be heard. Take some time to go and buy a copy of Nigerian Constitution and read it. Read it. It is so important and your life depends on it. Today we are also hearing the police talking about going to collect data and charging money. The function of the police is not revenue generation. It is not part of police job. Nigerians are keeping quiet. This country belongs to all of us. Your voices must be heard. You cannot arrogate this thing to the people representing us because the powers are delegated. We own the power absolutely. Distinguished citizens, we will meet you with the next petition and what the people want. Democracy must thrive in Nigeria. I call in Movers Nigeria to now read our emails and comments.
Thank you very much. The first mail is from Joy OKOYE. She says, I'm thanking Movers Nigeria for recovering my salary and the balance. God bless Movers Nigeria. The second one is from Scholastica. She said, I love your program. Please, how can I be your member?
Yeah, we will assist you. You can go to our Facebook page or come to our office or talk to us on the phone so that you can be a member. You can start even an organization in your area and link up with us. You don't have to come and join us in any. We can build these bridges across. Thank you.
This one is from Mary. Mary said, I've been following your updates on Facebook. Please, how can someone who is not within your location still listen to your program?
Mary, we are now in YouTube. So all our past programs are packaged and put in YouTube. We are moving forward so that in that way, Nigerians who are abroad can also assess what is happening in Nigeria. It's part of deepening democracy in Nigeria. And I urge all the youths to use their time well and get education. Education is important so that we all can be friends. Distinguished citizens, before I call in on the forum judge to deliver the verdict on the public petition, and then we go forward to announce the winner in this edition by making a very valuable contribution and in their judgments, I will now call on the forum judge to give us what is the verdict. Those who want this issue of the National Assembly still continuing to make laws on labor and wages, or whether we, the states, now can take it, and then those who want us to remain in Abuja federally exclusively so that the positions are clear. People have given their verdict by voting, and we will now read what the judgment is before we announce the winner for the radio and this program.
Thank
Forum
you.
Judge, sir.
Thank you, my forum advocate. This number of people voted that National Assembly should stop determining the salaries of workers in the state and local government. They are Prince Ingene, Chuma Brown, Emeka from Ebe, Reverend Ubio, Austin from Benue, Okechukwu from Emene, Uche Anambra, Abakuru Transekulu, Sonny from Auchi, then Ben Motuanya, Paul, Azubike Chris, Chidema from Enugu, COC, the Pastor Oji, and they made up total of 14 people. and support. Good.
So they have won.
They have won.
Distinguished citizens, that is the verdict. So the majority of the people want National Assembly to hands off making laws. And it means that we don't support the Labour going to National Assembly to ask them to change what the process have started. The winners of the radio this morning is the person who brought the most innovative aspect of the judgment he gave this morning.
Okay.
And that aspect is the leg he added that the people must insist that the National Assembly, and that is the composition of the members of the Senate and the National Assembly, I know maybe he means also the ministers, should be paid by their constituency. The winner is distinguished Reverend O.C. Obioha. O.C. Obioha, you are the winner. Congratulations. You can collect your radio at our office, or you can send a note to somebody to come and collect it on your behalf. Thank you so much, and the court will now rise.
All right, thank you, Forum Advocate, thank you, Forum Judge, and thank you, jury out there, for a beautiful session, court session today.